Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we're checking out some knives I haven't pulled out in a while. So before we get to that, I want to ask you guys if you guys have any great video ideas. If you guys do, leave me them down in the comments. I'd love to hear how creative you guys could get, and I'll pick whatever the best one or the best couple is, and I'll make some videos out of it. So let me know down in the comments some really cool knife video ideas. So the first one is the Horse Hellraiser. I have not pulled this one out in a little while. Holy cow, is this thing smooth. Now what's really cool is this guy's right here in my area. He's right in the Chicago area. He actually makes custom versions of these as well. Obviously the customs are much more expensive. This is a production version. Woo, very, very smooth. But yeah, I keep meaning to go to his shop and hang out and record his shop, but man, it just seems like every time I plan to, something comes up. So I definitely got to make that happen. Shout out to REDHORSE. These guys are awesome. And this knife is really awesome. Now, it's not going to be everybody's flavor, but I got to say, if you like the wow factor and the cool factor, it's extremely, extremely comfortable. Beautiful carbon fiber. Really well done carbon fiber. Titanium spring pocket clip, and then this razor blade shape. It is pretty cool. Lots of belly, nice acute tip. You could definitely use it to open things up. Crowned spine, thumb stud action, great access to the lock bar, but man, look at that thing. This thing is like, it's a guillotine. It is so frictionless. Yeah, it is. Rock solid lockup. Very, very smooth. I do like the hole patterns. I'm normally not a huge fan of holes, but, you know, it matches the clip. It does have, you know, a cool aesthetic to it. Yeah, very cool. And love that sharpening tool. Holy cow. Now, that's a sharpening tool. The next one is the Petrified Fish. I can't remember the name of it. The P05. I'll write the name on the screen. I forget the exact name of this one, but man, yeah, this is a good one. I had it loaned out for a little while. It has this beautiful white carbon fiber on the bolster. It's beautiful. And then it has this other carbon fiber. It's like side cut carbon, not side cut, but I forget the name of this type of carbon fiber, but it's just cut in a different direction. It looks gorgeous. It really plays with the light. Then we have pretty much a straight back blade shape, but what's kind of cool is the way the handle flows with it. It's not hard to get to the tip with this one. You can pretty easily get to the tip, similar to a drop point without it, you know, being a drop point. Nice sharpening tool and plunge grind, decent geometry, very comfortable in the hand, and you know, because it's so comfortable in the hand, you can really bear down and slice with this thing. The access to the lock bar is really, really good. Very, very smooth on the ceramic caged bearings. And it has this flipper tab and flipping action where, man, you can hear it. Listen to that. It cranks out there. Really good. I'll say this. There is some... I've handled probably, I don't know, a handful of knives that were Persians or straight backs that just had insane action. And I think it has something to do with the blade shape, but I'm not sure. Now, speaking of the blade shape, this one's an actual Persian. This is the Maxace Rock. Now you can see the difference here. The Persian sweeps down and then back up. The straight back is just a straight spine. Completely straight. You can lay it on a surface and it's pretty much perfectly straight. So if you look at this one though, same thing, it has that curved handle. So I can actually get to the tip with this one, which is pretty cool. Now I kind of prefer them to go down and then back up a little bit more, just angle the blade down and then up, but this one works actually pretty good. And again, the action on this thing, it cranks out there. This flipper tab is so comfortable. It's almost like a hammer on a revolver. And you can hear it. It almost sounds like a revolver cocking. I'm not sure how it's coming over the mic, but it definitely sounds like that in person. Very comfortable ergonomics. Again, you can bear down on this pretty good. Being a Persian, you know, it's got a lot of belly, so it's not really a knife you're going to cut backwards with, but where they do shine is in self-defense situations. Because the tip is pointing at anything you are aiming at, it is, it's good for that. That's why they're, you know, a lot of Persians are considered a self-defense blade shape. It does have a steel liner lock, titanium pocket clip, and titanium bolster covers because it does have steel liners. White G10 on this one, but there is other flavors. And the blade steel on this is M390. So it does have a super steel. Maxace tends to run their steel, or at least their M390, a bit on the softer side. So, you know, take that into consideration. But they're not overly priced, and they're pretty well priced for pretty much what you're getting, you know. The stop pin is an internal stop pin. Love to see that. It really helps with the side to side. Yeah, this is an awesome one. Oh yeah, and there's thumb studs. I should have mentioned that. The thumb studs are a little tight, but you can get them. I mean, they're fine. That was my fault. I prefer the flipper tab. The flipper tab, man, this thing is so comfortable, and just, man, it gives you a spot to really crank into that action. Really, really cool. Let's get to the next one. Next is the Scorpion, the Off-Grid Knife Scorpion V2. This thing is badass. It is such a good knife. The detent is so crisp. It's such a clean breaking action. Really, really good. But not just that. There's a lot going on here that makes this knife a super capable knife. One, this blade shape. It has almost like a large 940 blade shape where, you know, it's just tried, true, and tested, just a really good blade shape for EDC. Nice acute tip that's nice and low, center with the pivot or below, so utility cuts are going to be phenomenal. Nice flat area here, so you're not going to slip out of cuts. You're going to be able to crank into cuts. And then you have this masterful handle with great ergonomics. This thing is so, so comfortable. You can really bear down on this. And even though it is flat slabs of titanium with carbon fiber, with gold dust inlays, I can turn backwards, I can go with utility cuts, I can slice all day, I can bear down, and every single grip, even the gas station knife fighting grip, is nice and comfortable. So, you know, that just, man, when I can get the type of ergonomics with a functional blade shape that complements the handle and ergonomics, I freaking love it. And this is a great example of that. Good access to the lock bar. They actually make this is drop down, so this is proud, so it's very easy to get to. Very smooth on the drop. Again, the action's just insane. You can hear it. Listen to the detent. Listen to it suck back into the detent. Right there. Man, oh man. M390 steel. Now, I believe We Knife Co. is the one who's doing these. I think at the time, We was doing their premium knives and Best Tech was doing their budget line. I'm not sure now. Best Tech might be doing all their knives now, so it could be Best Tech. I'm not positive. TA hardware all the way around. Deep carry clip. Beautiful clip too, by the way. This clip works great, and it's reversible, inset, and it's very comfortable in the hand. Like I said, man, this is almost a perfect knife. Damn near a perfect knife. Beautiful jimping on the spine too. It just gives you that little bit of traction, you know. And even though the clip does hang off, it doesn't bother you at all because it's such a, you know, it's a large knife, but not too large. And, you know, to me personally, I think this is a perfect size knife. But yeah, man, awesome all the way around. I freaking love this thing. And yeah, I wish more people, because, you know, it's been out for a little while. I wish more people would try it. So, you know, I could, share the enthusiasm with them, because this thing is so, so, so good. Let's get to the next one. So the next one is, I can't remember the damn name of it again. But I will say, listen to that. You can hear that detent breaking and it locking up. It is such a crisp break. it's almost surprising how crisp that they got that button lock action. And I can still reverse flick it. It's got a sheep's foot style blade. I think it's a shallow hollow grind. Yeah, it's a shallow hollow, so it is a hollow, just not a deep hollow. And then, you know, it's got this beak, this bill up here at the top by the sheep's foot, or by the tip. And it is very ergonomic, nice and comfortable in the hand. You know, it's nice and fidgety. You do have a reversible deep carry clip. The blade steel is 14C28N. You guys know I love that blade steel, especially for an affordable price. Steel liner lock. And yeah, you know, not a lot to say about it. You know, it's very fidgety. It's got fun action with the button lock. So it is something you can, you know, sit there and enjoy flicking and flicking. And it's also comfortable in the hand and nice, useful. It has a nice, useful blade shape. Losing my words here. It's got a very functional blade shape. And if you look, it does sweep up a little bit, but you're not going to slip out of cuts with that because it's still practically straight. So if you really need to trap yourself into a cut, you can just angle your wrist a little bit when you're cutting. But yeah, fantastic blade shape for EDC. This is a very functional blade shape. So it does come in different flavors. This one's the green micarta one. You know, and 14C28N is a fantastic steel. Nice stain resistance. It doesn't have like the most incredible edge retention, but it has good edge retention. It has good edge retention for its other properties because it's very, very tough, great corrosion resistance, and then it has good edge retention, and it's very easy to sharpen. Now, the beautiful thing about 14C is the type of edges it takes. It takes super fine, low angle edges very, very well. Because of the toughness it has the ability to take a nice low angle and be nice and stable at the apex. There's always a breaking point, but 14C just takes an incredible fine edge. Or, you know, like if you want a polished edge, it takes an incredible polished edge. It takes an incredible toothy grit edge or a medium grit. Basically, any type of edge you want, 14C takes it very well. And, you know, considering how easy it is to sharpen, it's a great steel for people to learn how to sharpen because companies normally, in most cases, do not mess it up because it's a very easy steel to heat treat. It was made for knives, and it was made to be heat treated in large batch production like we see knives in. Next is the SRM or SRM Asika. Now, the Asika is a titanium frame lock knife with 154 cm. You can get this for right around 100 bones, so really good price. You know, that price does fluctuate up and down, but right around there. Nice, comfortable ergonomics, nice and slim, nice and slicey. It has somewhat of a Japanese-ish style tanto. The secondary tip is very subtle, but then, you know, it has a roundish front end instead of a straight end, which would be an Americanized tanto. Mostly a straight back. It has a little bit of drop right here at the tip. Good access to the lock bar. Nice and smooth. And the blade is thin, so you do notice that in the flipper tab. The flipper tab is relatively thin, but not uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable at all. And it has a fantastic detent. Cranks out there really, really well. I do really like this little detail on this knife, the pivot collars. So it's got a pivot collar and hardware collars. I love how they did that. I think that's such a cool little detail. The clip on it does, you know, it does kind of show how the price is, you know, on the lower side, which is good, right? You know, it's a great affordable priced knife, but the clip is somewhat of a budget clip, and so you can kind of see it. It kind of makes it look like a budget knife. I think it would have been cool if they did put a milled titanium clip on there. I think it would just look cooler, but it's a great clip. The clip works great. And then look at this. They put the lock bar cutout on the inside. I scream at companies to do that. There are companies that are doing $300-400 knives that are not doing that. So that's awesome. I love that they did that. And then the back spacer has this beautiful crowned spine on the back spacer with this great jimping. The little details on this thing are awesome, man. Somebody recommended this one to me, and I just bought it because they said it was really awesome. And man, they were not kidding. This is a good one. There's no milling on the inside, but it's not super heavy. It really doesn't matter. As far as sharpening goes, if you wanted, you could just sharpen this all in one go. You would get rid of the secondary tip, so it would just be basically a straight back at that point. Or you could make it even more pronounced. Like this is a blade shape you can kind of do what you want with. You could keep it just the way it is. You could technically straighten this if you wanted to, you know, to make it more of an Americanized Tonto. Or you could, there's so many different ways. But anyways, it's an awesome knife. I think it's really cool. It looks like it has premium details, and that's what I love about it without the premium price tag. It is T6 hardware mostly all around except for the pivot. So, you know, I prefer T8s, but, you know, we can't win them all, right? And the way they did that, the back spacer with the lanyard is pretty cool too. Anyways, there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.